Hey guys, welcome to Crown Smart. In this video we'll be discussing on the composition of a function. Now this is one of the very interesting parts of a function. Okay, composition of a function. Okay, it says let f map x to y and also let g map y to what? Z. Okay, now we want to create a new function. Okay, and by creating a new function we simply take the range of the function. Let's say this is the range of a function. We simply take the range of the function as the domain to create what? Another function. Now an example of this, look at this. Now we have a domain. First of all, we have our domain, we have our function. This is set x and this is the set y. Now this set x is the domain and this one is considered as the what? Codomain. So this is f mapping this x to y. Now look at the image map. Now 1 is mapped to b, 2 is mapped to c, and 3 is mapped to a. Okay, so this is a function of f. Now this time around I want to map y to z, and the function operating on this is g. So now I will now use the range. The range of this function is what? Is a, b, c. So I will now use the range as now the what? The domain, to now map these values to the other sets, to other codomain. I mean, so we have this as a. I can now circle a to z. I can map b to z. Also map c to what? To x. Okay. So whichever way you want to do it, you can do it so far as you map it correctly. Now observe that this function forms something very interesting. Watch. Now 3 maps to a and a maps to z, meaning that 3 maps to what? Z. That's what you're seeing here. Now 2 map to c and c maps to what? X. What does that mean? That means 2 to x, right? So you have it 2 to x. I also have 1 to b and b to z. So you have 1 to what? Z. So this function, I call it what? G of f. So this is the composition of a function, g of f. And g of f simply maps x to what? To z. So this is the new function we're talking about. So g of f can be written as this. You can write it, this is the notation. You can write it this way, or you simply write it this way, whichever way you want to write it. Okay, this shows that this is what? A composition of the what? Function. Now here's a next exercise. Now I'm going to solve the first 4, so the remaining 3 are exercise for you to solve, and you can drop your answer in the what? The comment section. Okay, so let f, g and h map r to r, and f of x is defined as absolute value of x, g of x is defined as x plus 2, and h of x is defined as cos x. Now we want to compute f of g, g of f, h of f, f of h, and so on. So these remaining 3 are for you, while I will solve the first 4. Now our f of g by definition is simply what? F of what? G of x. Okay, now this means f of what? What is my g of x? My g of x is what? X plus 2. So my g of x is what? X plus 2 from the question. So this means that anyway I see x in f of x, I'll put what? X plus 2. So remember, my f of x is absolute value of x. So this means that if anywhere I see x, okay, anywhere I see x in f of x, I put what? X plus 2. So this gives me absolute value of what? X plus 2. Okay, that's for the first one. Another one is what? G of f, which is g of f of x. Now what is my f of x? My f of x is equal to what? Absolute value of x. So this is what? G of absolute value of what? X. Now remember that my g of x is what? X plus 2. So anywhere I see x in g of x, I will put what? Absolute value of what? X. So my g of absolute value of x is equal to, anywhere I see x in g of x, I'll put what? Absolute value of x. So this means I'll do absolute value of x plus what? 2. So anywhere I see x, just put what? Absolute value of x. Okay, now the next one is h of f. H of f is simply h of f of x. Now my f of x in question is what? Absolute value of what? X. Now remember, my h of x in question is cos x, right? Cos x is h of x. So it means that anywhere I see x in anywhere I see x in h of x, I simply put what? Absolute value of x. That is like saying set x equal to absolute value of x. So anywhere I see x, I put what? Absolute value of x. So this becomes what? Cos absolute value of what? X. Okay, so that is for my what? H of f. And the last one is f of h. Okay, the last one is f of h. So my f of h, to solve for my f of h, this is something as saying f of what? H of x. Now the question is, what is my h of x? My h of x is what? Cos x. So this is f of what? Cos x. So it's set x equal to what? Cos x. If you set your x equal to cos x, it means that anywhere I see x in what? F of x, I put what? Cos x. So my f of x in question is given as what? Absolute value of x. So my f of cos x is equal to what? Absolute value of what? Cos x. So anywhere I'm seeing x, I put what? Cos x. So thank you very much. Please do not forget to subscribe. Thank you.